Good morning. So I'm just recently out of the shower. I've been up since like 5:45 this morning. I keep being very tired at night, and so going to bed early at like 9:45, and then I'm either up at 5:45, and if I try to fall back asleep, then I'm probably asleep until 7:30, which is later than I want to sleep. My son has to be at school or waiting at the bus by like 10:08, so 7:30 is too late to get up, so I've been opting for the earlier time, but it's a little too early. I'm also at the tail end of this cold, if you can hear it in my voice. So I've got a little bit of a headache this morning, but I wanted to share with you the tea I'm going to have this morning. I have a new tea. So this was sent to me. I actually watched, I have a bunch of tea tubers that I watch on a regular basis. I really enjoy it, so I hope you guys enjoy it too. It's very relaxing for me to kind of like hang out with my tea friends in the morning. So this one is a maple cream oolong from Adagio, the package that was sent to me. And I watched Sarah Drain, I believe is her last name, that's how you pronounce it. She did a video. Gosh, you can smell this just opening it. She did a video on this a couple of weeks ago and said it was marvelous, so now I have to dig into it. Okay, so you can smell apple, cinnamon. I think there's cinnamon. The maple is so strong, you almost can't smell the tea itself. So this says we've blended the smooth, clean taste of oolong with the subtle sweet flavor of maple and rounded it off with a hint of cream. I'll read more, but I probably need to put some of this in my teapot so that it's steeped. So here's what I just kind of dumped in. I have a teaspoon downstairs. I got it in some sort of subscription box, and it says I love you to the spoon and back. It's a big, thick spoon. It's actually more tablespoon size, but because it's relatively flat, you don't get a full tablespoon in it. It's about a perfect couple of teaspoons, which is usually what I want for my tea if I'm using my big pot. My little pot I sometimes use closer to a teaspoon depending on what it calls for. This one calls for a teaspoon. That was probably a little over a teaspoon. And it should be brewed for 3 to 5 minutes. So I may actually brew this a little less this time, try it. And then because it's an oolong, I'm gonna probably steep it a couple of times. So this says oolong tea, cinnamon, apple pieces, cardamom. Oh, that's what I smelled. Cardamom, maple flavor, cloves, did not smell the cloves, natural cream flavor, and safflower. Interesting. So this is, are you guys ready? My first cream oolong. So I have been wanting to try, I think they usually call them like milk oolongs, and I have never had one, and I've wanted to try one because I like creamy flavored teas, but I don't always like adding milk to my tea because it kind of dilutes it, so I don't often do that. So I have a great big 2 ounces. 2 ounces is a lot of tea. So I was a little hesitant to get the 2 ounces at first because it seemed like a small amount, but 2 ounces is plenty for us to get a really good taste. I tend to order the sample sizes a lot of the time in case we don't love it, but I had a feeling we would love this, so they sent me a full. This is This is not from the company. They didn't send this to me for free, but it was gifted to me. But I got to pick out a lot of what I got, so it was exciting. And I just kind of wanted to share that with you. Today is a gloomy day, but it's not supposed to be too cold. My son is home today for Diwali. Our local school system is trying to be more inclusive, so they're adding in more holidays that are from different traditions, and Diwali is one of them. It's actually not bad. They often didn't get any breaks really between the beginning of school and Thanksgiving, so it's kind of nice to have Diwali off. And he is downstairs having breakfast, so this is one of my few windows to film today without having lots of boy noise. So I thought I would do that quick. I would love to film something this afternoon, but it will depend on how noisy my house is. And today I have only a few sessions because I knew my son was going to be home, so I didn't schedule very much. But I've got a few things going on, and I am going to be working on some new Spotify recordings. So those should be going up very, very soon. If you like the recordings on Spotify, they are fun to make, they're fun to put up, people seem to enjoy them. I haven't had a lot of time this year, so I haven't gotten to many of them, which I feel badly about, but I'm excited to hopefully get to upload a few albums. I think if you have 7 or more tracks, it's an album. So that's hard for me because my tracks are like 20 minutes long. So I end up having these huge albums, but if you don't upload that many tracks with one album, then they're not connected and they kind of bounce around and people can't find them as easily if they're not an album. They're released as like singles, and those are harder to find on Spotify, I have found personally. All right, I am going to pour this tea. Oh, yay. It's very yellowy. Now, again, I only steeped this about 3 minutes, so it's a light color. It will probably, I'm going to let that steep a little bit more while I talk. It's a bigger teapot than this cup, so it smells very mapley. And again, I get a little bit of the cardamom. So let me taste it. A little bit of maple, not very sweet, very much oolong. So it's good, but I'm a little bit disappointed that you don't taste more of the maple and the cardamom. And maybe I will, and if I do multiple of these recordings and put them together, which I kind of like to do, I can tell you what this tastes like throughout the day. It's a very nice oolong. I'm getting more and more into oolong, and again, steeping it throughout the day. It's economical to be able to steep a tea a couple of times. I have a oolong bag. I think it's just a Twinings that I steeped like 3 times yesterday, and it was delicious every time. But this, I'm getting a little bit of the maple, but it really is more just the oolong flavor, the kind of smoky oolong. Not bitter. The smell is fabulous, and I do appreciate a good smelling tea. Like, I'm gonna put this next to me while I work this morning, and it will just make everything smell fabulous. Diwali is the festival of lights, so I have lots of candles already burning as of like 6 o'clock this morning. So my house smells pretty good right now anyway, because I have a couple of different scented candles going. But thank you for joining me for my first cup of tea this morning, and I will probably update you later today or tomorrow on how this was sipping throughout the day and maybe letting it steep a little bit longer. I definitely, when I steep more than once, I steep it for longer each time. So cheers. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Good morning. I'm going to do another tasting for you. It may look like the same day, but it's actually about a week later. I just happen to be wearing the same sweater. I haven't been recording much because I still have this little cold that's driving me crazy, and I've had a lot of morning sessions, so it makes it hard for me to record in the mornings. But I did have a special thing I wanted to try, and it's another little sample size. So, ooh, look at that. There, you can see it. So if I don't try it on camera, you guys aren't going to get to see it. So in the first package I got from Adagio, they sent me a little Pisces tin. They have different astrological signs, and they have teas for each of them. So recently they just had in the community, their daily subscription, they just did Scorpio, because it is Scorpio season. But they sent me Pisces, and I'm going to open this one up, and then I will read what's in it. I'm going to pour it out for you and get it steeping. Ooh, it must have some rooibos in it because it's getting stuff everywhere. Ugh. But I wanted to be able to show it to you. Okay, so maybe I'll save some of that. So that is what it looks like. I'm going to put it in my little teapot right here, and I'll read to you what is in it and see how long I'm supposed to steep it for. Ooh, it is a messy tea. So this says 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll keep track, we'll give it at least 3. 212 Fahrenheit, which is what my big thermos is about at, a little less. So this is rooibos, black tea, chamomile flower, white tea, orange, lemongrass, blue cornflowers, natural orange flavor, natural grapefruit flavor, and it has moderate caffeine. So that actually sounds exciting. Pisces is my sun sign, which some of you may know. That's why it was, I think, sent to me. I think they send you one based on your birthday, because I think I probably put that information in there. The tin is also very, very cute. I like the little lady on there. So I think when you look at the front of the package, let's see, I'm assuming, well, it can't be just the water signs. No, it's not. So you can see a few of the different ladies that are on these, but I can't tell. I assume the red one is like Leo. But I can't tell from looking at these which signs they would be. So I have been making it much harder to take the top off than I need to. It actually just slides. But things are mostly good here. Just still have this little cold. It is the slowest moving cold ever. So it is, it's now down in my chest, and I don't feel terrible except that I'm really run down at the end of the day, and I'm having a hard time getting through everything. It's wearing me out. So one thing I did want to do before I taste this, I want to show you my new thing that I got yesterday. So I've talked about Adagio's Community. I'm going to move the camera. Don't look if it'll make you sick. And so I got my November Community yesterday, and I bought this little cell phone holder on Amazon so I could basically make myself a little monthly calendar of teas every day, because I was thinking I'm not going to want to dig through the box every day to find which tea I'm supposed to drink that day. I want to just go and grab it like it's an advent calendar. And so that is what I did. And I put that in the little cell phone holder. It's only 30 pockets, so there will be some months where I have to put 2 in the last pocket. But for $20 for the teas every month, and I think the cell phone holder was like $12 or something. It was very inexpensive. I now have a little tea calendar that I'm very excited about. So I will hopefully start recording those for you guys in November. I also got my tea for December. So I ordered both of them at the same time. I ordered November and December and a few other teas, and then that gave me free shipping, because I always like free shipping. So let me show you this tea. It's pretty. It's kind of a yellowy color. I didn't smell the dry leaves. Let me do that. It has a very chamomile kind of smell. I'm not a huge fan of chamomile, so I'm a little nervous. It has a very citrusy smell in here. So I've been reading lots of tea reviews and watching lots of tea videos, and a lot of times they talk about how when these teas cool, some of the more fruit flavors come forward. So we will see. It has kind of a flowery flavor. Let me see what it says on the website for this, because I don't know where the flowery flavor is coming from. Now I have like whatever the small pieces in this tea are now all over my computer. Pisces, come on, I cannot spell. Okay, so I can see flower pieces in the blend that they have online. Cornflower, so maybe that's what I'm tasting. No, it's grapefruit. Okay, so I kept thinking this had more orange in it. It's grapefruit. I am not a huge grapefruit fan. Now that I know it's grapefruit, it's sitting with me a little bit better. It just kind of felt soapy. I hate to say that, but it was a bit of a soapy flavor to me. Again, I think we often get a kind of citrusy grapefruit scented dishwashing detergent. So that's what it made me think of. It's okay. It doesn't have enough of the real tea flavor to allow me to kind of cope with the grapefruit flavor. Grapefruit's a weird flavor for tea, I think. I don't mind it. It's got a little bit of caffeine in it. That's okay. I did want to comment on the maple oolong. I did brew that the rest of the day. The maple flavor never got all that much stronger, but I added maple syrup
to one of them, and that was really good. So I think with the little boost of, and I've been reading this in the tea tastings as well, a lot of times when you add sugar, it brings out the flavor. I think the fact that it was maple sugar especially helped because it's maple flavored oolong. And so that really helped, and I'm gonna use that whole bag. I probably won't buy any more though, and I'm gonna probably add maple sugar to most of them. So I hope you are all doing well. I am going to keep making tea videos because it's making me very, very happy lately. You know, one of people's goals, as a counselor, I hear this a lot, and I've had this goal myself, is to look forward to getting up in the morning. And most of us don't meet that all the time, but lately, going through this tea kick, I have been excited to get up in the morning because I often have a new tea to try, and I have been purposely not trying all my teas in one day so that I have new teas to try. And I am in November starting up with this new tea every day, so hopefully that will add to my, oh, I'm excited to get up because I've got this new tea I can try this morning. And I often get up before anybody else in my house, so I can go and make my nice relaxing cup of tea before anybody else gets up in the morning and sit and enjoy it. And that is my routine. So cheers. I hope you're enjoying these, and I will be back with you again soon. Bye.
Good morning. Today is a Saturday, so I may do a lot of filming today. I'm pretty much finally over this cold, and I've got a lot of running around to do, but it's mostly fun stuff today. So I may do a bunch of filming in between, and I have something a little bit different today because I went to the Korean grocery store that is down by where my son does taekwondo. So I dropped him off, ran down to the Korean grocery store, and I thought I would try a couple of tea bags from there. So I got this one from Ito En, and it's a matcha green tea with lemongrass. And I've been drinking this one for a couple of days. It's not wowing me. It's a good green tea, but I think I really want the matcha. When I had the tea drop matcha, it was very sweet, but it definitely tastes like matcha. So they say to steep this one for 30 seconds. I steeped this one longer. So I just opened a new bag. I've already steeped this one, but I wanted to smell it. I don't know that I have noticed the lemongrass much. I can smell the lemongrass. I can smell the matcha. It smells like green tea. So again, I did steep this one for maybe a minute and a half to see if I would get more flavor out of it. It also says it's good for cold steeping, which I have not yet done. And I don't usually make iced tea for myself often, so it's probably not something I'm going to do. I tend to make it for my son, so I try to make it decaf. I'm going to try it, and then I'll read you some of the box. I'm getting much more lemongrass than matcha. I guess I'm getting a matcha. I guess the aftertaste is more matcha. And the other thing is, it's a very light color. It's kind of pretty. The other thing is that I don't have much experience with matcha. So the matcha tea drops may have been my first real drinking matcha, because I don't have all the matcha gear, so I've been kind of intimidated about matcha. And I am using this clear glass. It does have some branding on it, but I'm not advertising that service. So if you see the branding, it's not a sponsored video. So one thing I was worried about, these are tea bags. I was worried they were going to be, because they're pyramid shaped, I was worried they were going to be the plasticky kind, but they're not. So I can compost them. And what else does it say on here? It's really just green tea, lemongrass, and matcha. So matcha's the third ingredient. So my guess is that it really only has about a dusting of matcha. So my goal is to finish off this box because, again, I have to sip down what I have before I start buying much more. But once I sip this down, I'm going to go buy some real matcha. And I may buy some flavored so that I kind of get used to the taste. But I'm going to buy some real matcha. I've heard it's really good for weight loss. I've heard, I do like the taste of it. I liked the sweet matcha a lot. I do like the taste of matcha in this. It's not very strong, again, because I think it's a dusting. And here it says, matcha green tea is considered Japan's most classic and popular beverage. Natural with no added colors or flavorings, I like that. This premium green tea features a beautiful aroma and mellow yet bold taste. The unique blend of matcha and whole tea leaves gives a rich and vibrant green infusion like no other. So I really don't notice a smell when it's steeped. The box also says matcha is the treasured powdered green tea traditionally used in the Japanese tea ceremony, chado. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. The vibrant green tea is finely milled from high quality tea leaves. I think that's another thing with matcha. I like the bright green color you can get in your cup when you have a real matcha. Not that this isn't real matcha, it's just not very much matcha. When you have a full matcha drink, it's almost like a fluorescent green. It's really beautiful. And I don't get that from this. Again, this is a lovely green tea. I'm going to drink it. I like the taste of lemongrass, so I appreciate that. Matcha is made using the entire tea leaf, providing the vitality and full health benefits of green tea. Exceptionally rich in nutrients and catechin antioxidants, matcha is revered for its distinct umami taste. The fifth sensory taste, celebrated for its savory and subtly sweet finish. So I do think that I would like to try just a regular matcha because I do actually really like umami. I really like umami, especially in the morning. For some reason, I like really bitter teas in the morning, so I may actually be pretty happy with just a straight matcha that's not flavored, not sweetened. But we'll see. Matcha is a taste I'd like to cultivate, unlike some other teas like Pour. I like it. I don't love it. It's pretty expensive. I am not going to go out of my way to cultivate that taste. I drink it and I like it. I like having it in the house, but I actually like an oolong better, and the oolong's also fermented, I believe. So I am still really learning about teas, and you guys are gonna learn along with me as I figure out new flavors. So I'm just gonna finish reading this off. In the tradition of chado, the host entertains the guest with deliciously prepared tea. This act of hospitality is called omotanashi. That's probably not pronounced right either, although it may not be too far off. We hope you will enjoy matcha green tea, produced with the same spirit of hospitality by Ito En, Japan's foremost purveyors of green tea. So, yeah, I do like this tea, but I like it as a kind of green tea, not for the matcha piece. So I will have to get some actual matcha. And I hope you are enjoying these videos. I'm going to start up doing these with my November Adagio community teas, where I have one for each day. I may not drink them all on the day that they're set because I would like to film them all, and I may not be able to film on every single day. So I may try to get ahead a little bit and then take notes so that I can comment in the community. Like they have a chat, and I want to be able to comment on each of the teas and to rate them. So I may actually start November 1st today if I have time to film it. So thank you guys for sticking with me, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.